There are quite a few major stories coming into this race. The biggest, without a doubt, being the announcement that the Texas Motor Speedway will replace Daytona as the season opener in 2011. To hardcore ARLA fans, this was a long time coming. The Walker family who runs the sport is very deeply rooted in Texas, and surprisingly, the state has not really been much of a staple on the circuit. 4 full-time teams announced that they would be making driver changes. Ricky Gonzalez was sacked from the Griesberger Racing 9 car and will be replaced by Benji Flynn. Joel Rodriguez will be replacing Milano Orsini in the Scuderia Martinez number 56 car. Anthony Griffith will replace David Connors in the number 211 Big Bunny Barbecue car. And finally, at the A1 Racing 99 car, Barton Sandy will be replaced by New England short tracker Philip Borland. In other news, immediately after the qualifier, ARLA CEO Jen Walker threatened to crack down on the start and park teams if they didn't start running the full races. While she didn't name names, it was pretty obvious to everyone in the garage that she was referring to the Team Burr cars who have parked in every race except Talladega. She referred to them as, and I quote, thieves who bump out legitimate teams every week. Former Master Cup Series driver Paul Lyons, who currently drives for Team Burr, was quick to attack Walker's statements. He claimed that the ARLA officials hate small teams, but pretty much everybody was quick to shoot him down. That's about all I have to report on this race, except for the fact that I qualified for the event and won the pole, so I'm pretty happy about that. Take it away, Scott. Thank you, Earl. As he just said, he won the pole here in his number 80 OEN car with Brenda Riggs on his outside. McDermott and Dale Underwood get a very nice jump on the field, but the 80 is able to hold off the 03 coming through turn 1. Here we have Tyson Lautenschlager and Anthony Griffith making their first starts of the season. Griffith finally got a ride after not being able to get one at the beginning of the season, while Lautenschlager is running one of the 2 part-time cars for Carlink Racing. Here is Serena Beccaro driving the other part-time Carlink car. That team is thinking about bringing in 2 more full-time cars for the 2011 season, and depending on how Lautenschlager and Beccaro perform, they may be chosen to drive them. Here is Philip Borland, A1 Racing's promising new talent, running in last. But hey, got the car into the race on his first try, and that's more than you can say for their previous driver, Barton Sandy, who failed to qualify for Daytona. Back up front, Earl McDermott continues to lead. He separates himself from the main pack, along with last week's winner Todd Stater and Leslie Riggs. Riggs decides that Stater isn't going anywhere and tries to take second for herself. Points leader Bobby Porteau is about to run into a bit of trouble. He washes up the track coming off the 2 and bounces into the 37 of Siju Dejao. Porteau did not have a very good start to his race. He's running towards the back at the moment, and this is not going to make things much better. The first caution flew on lap 15. Michael Carter in the 109 blows his engine coming down the front straightaway, and then he is hit from behind by Sarah Haxon in the 3. He spins, and in comes Serena Beccaro. She clips the back of the 109 car. Carter and Beccaro would take their cars behind the wall and out of the race. While under yellow, Kevin Monroe's engine explodes on him. M&J Racing has been no stranger to mechanical problems this year. They've experienced issues in several races already, and it looks like that will continue today. Leslie Riggs leads on the restart. Jack Lucas Hansen in the 10 is 1 lap down. He made an unscheduled green flag pit stop after he smacked the wall. Joel Rodriguez, running the 56 car for the next 3 races, is doing a fantastic job so far, taking second from Andy Pearson. Rodriguez is a former Team Master Cup Series driver who was booted from his ride last year after making a silly mistake and taking out several cars in the Chicago race. But now he's redeeming himself, running very well right out of the box. Namimura, coming through turn 3, is going to have the 39 car Grenade on her. She's probably completely memorized the smell of smoke by now. I believe this is the 3rd engine she's blown this season. This would bunch up the cars behind the 39 and trigger the second caution. Bobby Porteau and Darrell Sullivan are going to get together, sending the 64 spinning up into the wall, taking the 01 and the 34 of Lucas Hunter and Ricky Navarro with him. You saw the 34 bounce into the 70 of Tyson Lautenschlager. Let's take a better look at what happened to the 70. Everyone's bunched up like they were at Talladega. The 93 and the 64 get together. Lautenschlager just clips the back of the 93 car, but he's clear until the 34 bounces into him, and then he's hit once again by Lucas Hunter. Leslie Riggs leads on the restart with Todd Stater behind her. Jason Bates had a pit road collision. He's a lap down right now, and the damage that he sustained is making him very slow. Shane Lake in the 155 is going to run into a bit of trouble. He hits the 51 of Jason Bates and then gets spun into the inside wall by Earl McDermott. Unfortunately for Lake, since he spun out of the way, the caution does not fly. Back up front, Todd Stater gets a nice run on Leslie Riggs, and he's able to take the lead away from the 50 going into turn 1. But Stater would quickly be caught by Benji Flynn in the 9. And then Joel Rodriguez would come in to spoil the fun. But then the 56 suddenly slows down. Rodriguez brings his car to the inside, and you're going to see that he will have to pit. It turned out that Rodriguez had a tire go flat, and he would fall a lap down. Tough break for the 56 team. They were having a great run with their new driver, and now this happens. Taylor Brillin in the 65 gets a little too personal with Todd Stater, however she's able to keep it off the inside wall and slip back in line quickly. Caution 3 flew in lap 51, and it was the biggest incident of the day. Packer Carroll blows his engine coming off of turn 2, but he can't get to the inside. He makes contact with Sean Donnelly. In a moment you're going to see Carroll pull right into the 165 of Reed Weber Jr. Weber gets pushed onto the apron. He's going to punt Scott Morales into the wall, and Morales is going to come sliding down right in front of Philip Borland, who sends the 76 flying up into the air. Jeb Klinger and Sarah Haxon are collected as well. Here comes Tyson Launschlager barreling in. He slams into the 66. He makes contact with his teammate Bates and hits Jeb Klinger very hard, and then is slammed into by Shane Lake, who had nowhere to go. There were some very hard hits there, and there would have been a lot of concern for Jeb Klinger, who is 75 years old, but you saw him drive that car away, so obviously he must be okay. Everybody else involved were able to climb out of their cars. Ricky Navarro led on the restart with some damage. He stayed out while everyone else pitted. Jack Lucas Sampson, Darrell Sullivan, and Lucas Hunter are all one lap down, as well as Joel Rodriguez. However, all that damage slowed down to 34. Joel Rodriguez got to the inside of Navarro trying to get his lap back, and Leslie Riggs takes advantage, stealing the lead away from her teammate. Joseph Howard, the former 3-time Team Master Cup Series champion, has found his way up into the lead group. Todd Stater takes the lead from Leslie Riggs, and Howard takes advantage, taking second for himself. Alex Carson, D.G. Daniels, and Kurt Walker have also not been very close to the front all day, but now they're starting to battle their way up there, as well as Anthony Griffith and Lucas Sweeney. Leslie Riggs, after being one of the fastest cars all day, washes up the track coming off of turn 2 and hits the wall pretty hard. This would pretty much kill the aerodynamics on her car, and she would start dropping through the field like a rock. Jason Bates decides to be an annoying backmarker and holds up the leaders as they go into turn 3. Todd Stater slips up the track, allowing Kurt Walker to have a shot at the lead. He's getting a little TV time at his home track. Behind the leaders, you're going to see Joseph Howard and Dale Underwood get together, almost creating a wreck. Caution 4 flew on lap 70, a little before halfway. Andy Pearson and Rachel Gonzalez get together, resulting in Frank Haxon, Joey Harrison, and Ricky Flush all going into the wall. Frank Haxon gets hit pretty hard by Dale Underwood, and then pulls into Leslie Riggs, as if she didn't have enough damage on her car already. Harry Nola in the 159 intended to stay out and take the lead on the restart while everyone else pitted. However, he had some mechanical issues and brought his car down pit road. And this would be the last we see of Harry Enola for this race. His crew would toil away at that car trying to figure out what the problem was, but he would never come out for the finish.